All right, welcome back to Soccer Garage, guys. It's Brian.
I'm Vince.
Tonight, we're going to show you guys how to move power in the ceiling. So I'm going to let Vince just briefly explain what that means.
So what had happened was we have a chandelier right here. Unfortunately, the table is over here. They don't exactly match up. If you can see, it's a little bit of a diagonal. I'll get out of the frame so you can get a better understanding of what exactly is happening here. So chandelier, center of the table. What we're going to do is we're going to take this chandelier and we're going to move it over.
All right. And so one of the tools I'm excited about working with is this beast right here. Now I'm going to let Vince tell you exactly what this is.
That's a 4-inch hole saw. Basically, if you need to make a hole in some shit, that'll do it.
There we go. We like making holes and shit. So, without further ado, we'll get right into it. So you basically doing this because you want to do what my wife would be wrong, right?
Exactly. I only look stupid.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. Ooh.
Are you through?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a good face.
But I got a lot of stuff in my eyes, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I bet.
Nope, not through. All right, so I guess I gotta go again.
Yeah, so start slow.
Okay.
Once you get it in, start nice and slow. There you go.
And we have a hole, ladies and gentlemen.
Whether he likes it or not, that's where the new power is going.
This is where it's going. Guess what though? This is DIY. So, and again, like I said, I can only be learning from the best. So if you don't have that special handyman friend that lives next door, I'm bringing him to you.
Exactly.
When you don't know how to do something, you hire people to do things. And these people you assume are professionals, right? So you don't know they didn't do a professional job until you hire someone that is. And you trust them. So this is something that you're going to see throughout this channel. People I've hired to do a job, and they fucked it up.
They didn't have it wired properly. They didn't have it grounded. I don't think that's very professional.
And neither do I. All right, so what are you doing right now?
So right now I'm just capping the wires back up. This is just in case somebody bumps into the light switch while we're working or doing something else. Basically, we're not going to get fried. There's not going to be a pop. These wires aren't going to touch. Everything's fine. In fact, you can hit the switch right now. Nothing's going to happen. These are on there. It's great. So we're kind of at the point right now where we are going to be moving the power over. I'm going to take the rest of this box out, and then you're going to see us fish these cables over to this side. So right now we're just taking the rest of the old box out, the rest of the fittings from the old chandelier, which were some gigantic screws. That's probably one of the best things that guy did. We're going to need that. And let's see if we're going to be able to get this out. Not today, motherfucker.
New construction, baby. Problems you deal with.
All right, so we ran into a little bit of problem. The wire's not long enough to get to the new hole. Not a problem. We have extra 14 too. So we're going to show you a little something that maybe you have or have not seen before. It's called, we're basically just splicing new wires in just to make it a little bit longer. So you cut a little line right down your new 14-2, being very careful not to hit the black or the white wire. We can pull the rest of this shit out of here because nobody needs it. And we can cut the rest of this away. See? Nice stripped wires. So this is definitely something that we haven't showed you yet. These are wire connectors. Very simple. Put it on the wire. That's a little too long. We'll cut it down. Not a big deal. Put it on the tip of the wire. Good. Covers. We're using the ones for 14 gauge. That's blue. Take it. Put it in the blue side. And you slam it down. And that's gonna... We're gonna have to edit that out. Let's start that over. Wire connector. You're gonna use the blue side. And we're actually gonna hit it in the right place this time. Get nice and tight on there. And now you could swing from it. That's not going anywhere. That's going to create a nice, good connection right through. All right, so we're going to do that for all 3 wires. What's the worst case scenario? We do it again?
Gotta make the face.
Yeah, you're good. Let's test that. Got 3 really nice, tight connections there.
All right.
So now we're going to do the same thing on the ceiling. All right, so as we explained earlier, we now have nice solid connections from our new line to our old line. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to fish it right through to the new hole. So what we have here is a ceiling fan support brace. We're using a ceiling fan support brace basically so we have a little extra support. I believe they hold up to 80 pounds, 60 pounds.
I think it was 70, I thought I saw. I could be wrong. But...
Maximum light fixture weight 50. Light fixture weight 150. Let's call it 70 pounds. If you're hanging anything more than 70 pounds from your fucking ceiling, think again.
You must be doing some nasty stuff.
For that, go into a stringer.
Yeah.
So inside the box, it's very simple. This is what we got. This is what it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off this box, and then we're going to start turning the bar. And as we turn the bar, it's going to either get longer or shorter. And basically we want to make this go from one stringer to the other. It's basically turning this bar here, and it's extending as we turn it. What's going to happen is it's going to end up biting into the wood, and that's exactly what we want. That's going to give us all that extra support. See, now we're nice and tight. And we're going to keep going as nice and tight as we can get it. I want to be able to get it at least another half a turn before I call it solid. We take this little bracket here very carefully and wrap it around. See that? And that's what the new box is going to screw into. All right, so we're almost at the end here. Basically, all we need to do is fish this wire through. Find our holes. There they are. That's what we needed. Put these little nuts back on. Don't forget your nuts. right. That's that. So now our box is installed. Our wires are through. All we need to do now is remove these, put the old bracket for the existing chandelier back in. We're going to cut this down a little bit, splice the wires with our wire cutters and splicers, and we're going to get it back attached, throw it back up on the ceiling, and hopefully Janelle's going to love it.
All right. So you see the old hole and the new location for the chandelier.
And don't worry about that old hole. Nobody else is going to notice it. You just leave it just like that. You don't have to worry about any covering it up. Don't worry about painting it. In fact, I think it adds a little bit of character to the room.
All right. Now I want you to tell my wife that.
No, I won't be here when she sees that hole. On a more serious note, when we come back, we're going to show you exactly how to cover that up professionally so you never see it.
All right. So welcome back to the final installment of Moving a Light Fixture.
I'm Vince.
I'm Brian.
And we're going to get into it. We're going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on first, and then we'll show you how it's done. So this is going to be a 2-day process. Plaster has to dry. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. There are a couple things you can do to speed it up a little bit. We're not going to do that. You can take a heat gun. You can take a blow dryer. If you have one lying around the house, you can put it on it. I think the best way to let it dry is naturally. You kind of avoid some of the cracks, some of the issues that come with
We got nothing but time.
heating it up too quickly. So we have one of these ultra thin patch kits. These are very convenient. Basically what's inside of it is square. You can get them in multiple sizes. It has a little mesh screen on it with some fiber tape over it. Self-adhesive. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to put this up to the ceiling. We're going to draw where the edges are around the ceiling, and then we're going to peel back the paper that's already stuck to the drywall. It comes that way. It's just how it's shipped. We want to do that so we get a nice flush finish. And then tomorrow we're going to come back. We're going to do a little bit of sanding. We're going to make it nice and flat. And then we have some can of knockdown that we're going to use. And we'll finish it up. Knockdown? Yeah, can of knockdown. It's
all right.
It's very convenient. It's not the best way to do knockdown. Honestly, it's the quickest, most convenient. And
okay.
What I do like about it, it's not. I wouldn't say that it's going to have professional results if you're going to do an entire wall. It's not what it's meant for.
So like spots.
It's good for spots, especially if you know how to use it. Trying to match somebody else's knockdown is damn near impossible to do it by hand, or if you're not going to get the air compressor out with a gun and blast a little 6-inch area. So this little knockdown in a can, which we'll show you tomorrow. Can of knockdown.
All right.
Honestly, it works great for what we're using it for. And
okay.
I don't think you'll be able to see any wonky areas.
So we peel back the layer of the knockdown, and this is where the piece is going to sit flush.
Yeah, so basically what we did, and the reason why we did this, is so that when we stick this piece up on the ceiling, it's going to fit where the old paper was. So if we line it up, This was. See, so now it's going to sit in that little groove that we cut out. So now we have it kind of cut out and just the way we want it. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this backer. Because as I said, it has a little self-adhesive on the back. And I'm going to stick this right here. All right. Now, obviously, we could have used a smaller patch for this particular area. I do find, however, that the more surface area you have on a nice flat backer, the nicer the final product comes out. All right, so we have our all-purpose right here. Got this at Home Depot. I think it's like $5. Don't go to the paint department. If you go to the paint department, they're going to have all the bougie plasters. They charge an arm and a leg for it. It starts off pink, it dries white. Who the fuck needs it? It's plaster. You put it on the wall, it dries, you sand it. So go to the construction department where they keep all the wood, the masonry shit, all the concrete, things like that. That's where they keep this stuff. That's all it is. And we're going to take our spackling knife and we're going to make it nice and smooth up there. So I do want to point out now that this really isn't the time for perfection. You will not get it perfect. I don't care how long you sit here. You're not going to get it smooth. You don't have to. We still have to come back tomorrow after it's dried and give it a nice little sand.
All right, so we're at the last part of the video where it's time now to paint the ceiling and see how everything turned out. All right, and that's it.